We are only an hour out from the moment we've been waiting 13 years for, and realistically about 3 years since Eric told me, hey, let's do a video. I think we're going to the SEC. And I was like, you're lying, dude. And so this is going to be crazy, man. I'm super excited. I know you guys are excited as well. Hook 'em. Coach here as well. And let's go hook 'em. Already getting chippy on the field with coaches. I can only imagine when the players get on the field. Yep.
Yeah. I saw your message on the commute over here. I'm obviously at a new setting today at a buddy's house. So gracious enough to let me
you got lucky with a buddy's house setting.
Oh man.
The memorabilia room here, but I saw your message. I was curious what happened. Do we know like who was involved, what started it? Obviously, like it's
no, it was CJ Vogel from OTF's video, and he put it up on Twitter, and it was just a couple of our staffers and their staff were getting into it, yelling to our staffer, yelling at them not to touch his player. So we have no context. We just know that staffers were meeting in the middle of the field. They were kind of pushing, shoving, nothing crazy, but
physical, baby. It's getting physical. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was that was a really fun way to start. Before we get going, though, we got a flash sale right now, $1 for 7 days and 50% off your first year. Get it while it's hot. It's the special A&M Texas promo. All right, fellas, this is going to be exciting. Going to war, boys. Yep.
Yeah, man.
I knew it wouldn't be long before we saw some of the Michigan OSU comments in here too. Just kind of just with Texas's strength of schedule and things like that in play here. I had a feeling that was coming. That was an interesting one too.
Yeah, Michigan win look better now, don't it?
Yeah, Quinn agrees with you. He said, "Y'all played nobody. Looks a little better after Michigan beating Ohio State." Thoughts on Ohio State Michigan fight? Oh, not the game, the fight.
The fight.
Yeah. They had 2 rounds and they broke it up and then they came back.
Yeah, no one did anything. They broke it up and everyone waited again. Here's my thing, man. Like, if it happens to us, they got no class. But if I'm watching other people do it, it's hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
So it was funny listening to Gus and Joel being like, what a despicable act. It was like, these are 19-year-olds that hate each other. So I didn't think it was that crazy, man. I did think it was crazy how poorly both staffs handled that and allowed them to completely stop the fight and then start to go again. Like people getting pepper sprayed. I was like, that was the only thing that was interesting. But the fact that, some 22-year-olds tried to plant a flag and there was a fight, I'm not that shocked. What do you guys think?
I'm looking at Ryan Day. Hey, what happened? Like, you don't see what's happening. This is your team, buddy. Like, why are you not trying to break this up? You're sitting back like, what happened? I didn't understand that. But, I mean, that's what rivalry's for. They had a fight, what was it, 2012 when Urban Meyer was there?
Yeah.
The kid from DeSoto, I can't think of his name, but he was in the middle of that fight, the running back.
It's Urban Meyer's team.
Yeah, it was Urban Meyer's team. So,
Urban always has some stuff. Yeah,
Yep. On top of that, too, we got, I don't know, for those who didn't see, Cowboy Quinn showed up with the cowboy hat on today. So it seems as if he's dressed to impress. I mean, which in my head means that he's full go tonight. So we'll see.
Is he dialed in?
Yep, dialed in.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a little bit of a limp to him coming off that bus, But if you have a high ankle sprain, that would be funny if Quinn was faking it. He started doing backflips in front of everyone.
Just zone read the first 3 plays.
He goes for 80. Yeah, those high ankle springs suck, man. But hey, man, hopefully he can gut it out. Hopefully he can do it, man. We need it.
Yeah, high ankles are no fun. Obviously, way worse than low ankle sprains.
They're so easy to tweak, man.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
But then give him the good stuff, man.
Yeah, give him that shot and tape it up good.
Yeah.
Just that Torah Deezy, baby. Torah Deezy never fails.
Yeah, dude. It's all about the Torah.
I sent a text to the group chat earlier about that. I talked with Dr. Meister one time, or somebody who knew him very well. It wasn't me directly interacting with Meister, but for those who are unaware, Dr. Meister is one of the world-renowned surgeons for Tommy John surgeries. It's a common baseball injury. The ligament that essentially connects the forearm to the upper arm. It's imperative for overhead throwers, but he said that he couldn't make it through a professional season without Toradol and cortisone. Right, his players would just like you would run out of guys. You don't have enough enough bodies if he didn't have those at their disposal. So it's nothing new, man. It's just part of the sport. It's the way it works.
Yeah. Can Quinn be protected or avoid the Aggie pass rush? Can Aggie handle the Texas defense and containment and pressure on Reed? Let's take the first part. Can Quinn be protected or avoid the Aggie pass rush?
I'm worried about that right side of the line, man. You know, so look, I love some Cam Williams. He's going to be awesome. You know, future first-round draft pick. But it's his first year starting, right? And so I am really worried about how that pass rush is going to come off Cam Williams. And Cam Williams also has been known to have a lot of penalties. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of false starts, right? A lot of false starts against Michigan, you know, like 2 or 3, I think the last game as well. You know, so how can we kind of neutralize that, right? So if Cam has a good game, I think Texas handles business.
Yeah.
You know, what worries me is the right side of the line, but it's the looks. Just going back and watching some A&M games versus LSU and South Carolina, like they got consistent pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we don't have Nussmeier tried to run. He could escape a little bit. And we know Sellers can escape.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried about Quinn being able to escape and get away from the rush when they do get through, right? Is he going to just fall down so he doesn't take the extra hit and then have a loss of yardage? Or do we just try to – hopefully we can protect him up front so he doesn't have to worry about getting hit so much. But that worries me just a little bit, man, honestly.
Yeah.
And so it's
Sellers too.
Can he be protected or avoid the Aggie pass rush? It's kind of like – those things are somewhat symbiotic, but can he be protected? Yes. Can he avoid the Aggie pass rush? Has much less to do with the injury today or whatever he's bothered by, right? It's just more of it's been one of his shortcomings in his career, right? If we've seen he struggled at times to not only feel pressure in the pocket, but navigate that pressure accordingly. And so for Quinn, though, he's always at his best, right? When he's operating confidently and just getting the ball out quick, making decisive, confident throws, letting the arm talent take over and not holding onto the ball too much. You know, this is more of a pass rush that's, I know Homer mentioned it in his preview that it's a good rush, but they're honestly, when you just stack up the numbers, they're better. They're more stout against the run than they are actually getting after the quarterback. And so, yes, these guys, there's a couple first-round picks over there. I know everybody knows the Shamars and the Scoutons and all that. Like, that's been well documented. But for this team in particular, and for tonight's game, obviously with Quinn, regardless of the injury, it's just about Texas establishing the run, getting downhill, whether it's first or last, right? Breaking tendency, potentially getting the run going first, and then the play action stuff off of that. Can you play action off of that with a bum ankle? Those are question marks, right? But for Quinn, I see if there are any questions from Sark's mind and heading into this matchup about his health and about his ability to move, the scheme is going to protect him from just a drop back, stand in the pocket passing game. You know what I'm saying? So all that kind of boils back down to getting the ball out confidently and decisively, right? Making quick decisions. And then when it's not there, check it down or tuck it and just literally GTFO, right?
Yeah. And they like to blitz, right? So you got to be decisive on top of that, right? So they're going to heat them up. But I thought Coach had the point there of like, look, they don't get as many sacks as you would think from hearing announcers, but they make quarterbacks move off their spot a lot. Like Garrett Nussmeier, one of the best pressure to sack rates in the SEC. So he knows how to move. Peyton Thorne was having to move. Sellers shrugged off like 8 sacks.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's like that's the big question, right? Because the answer is if Quinn does that, we win.
Right.
You know, that's simple.
They're pocket pushers, right? It's not so
Yeah.
much like your Micah Parsons or Colin Simmons, like bend and get around the edge in an instant and almost timing up the snap. It's like, okay, hey, we're just going to condense this pocket and push you backwards. And so it's throws under pressure are something that you have to do consistently to beat this Texas A&M team that is vulnerable to the passing game, right? The 118th graded pass defense in the country. Is that right, Homer?
All right.
What did you say?
118th, something along those lines.
And explosiveness?
Yeah.
So, you know, one thing I saw, something that and it's on the receivers too. Sometimes when the blitz is gone, they're still running the exact same route that the players called. Like they don't really sit down. Watching a little bit of Georgia and Georgia Tech, those receivers were sitting down in the zone when Georgia would bring pressure. Our receivers sometimes continue just running their routes, and so Quinn doesn't have a quick check down to throw to. So hopefully that's fixed too, because they got to be on the same page, right? It's not just Quinn.
Georgia.
So I was going to say, let's elaborate on that. Go ahead, Homer.
Well, I was going to say the Georgia corner blitz whenever Quinn got smacked, Ryan Wingo has to turn to Quinn and communicate it.
Right.
But also B, you have to sit down. He didn't. So I agree. It's like sometimes like Quinn doesn't always have that outlet. The only outlet he has, 100% of the time is going to be his swing pass.
Right.
But
so to elaborate a little bit more, what Coach and what Homer are saying, right, in the Georgia game, and then Vandy sort of copy and pasted the blueprint as well, firing the nickel, right, over and over again. What they're saying is, so let's say whoever, pick your receiver is in the slot. Let's say DeAndre Moore or Isaiah Bond, whoever motions to the slot, okay? That nickel, whoever is lined up across from that particular receiver, fires, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's a tactic to eliminate the outside zone and then the play action game off of that, right? So just removing the ability for the quarterback to move the pocket essentially, okay? But let's just say hypothetically, Isaiah Bond lined up across from player X. Player X fires. Regardless of what Isaiah Bond's route is, he has to understand his football 101. Okay, I've got to be the check. I've got to be the outlet. I've got to. It's alert instantly in his mind.
You throw into the blitz.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that you can learn from the Georgia game, right? It's fail forward, right? Learn from your failures, figure it out, talk about it in the film room, and then improve upon it. So that's something I'll be looking for tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're getting some questions about Quinn. Is Quinn ready to go? So Eric reported this morning that he thinks that Quinn will start. Arch did receive a bunch of reps, though.
Yep.
So it sounded like Quinn's on a short leash, both like performance-wise, physically. If he looks like it's hampering him, then I think they're going to end up going with Arch. Either way, man, not the quarterback situation you want. You're playing at Kyle Field, man. Like, that is dicey, man. Like, asking Arch Manning to come in here and be like, hey, man, win the most emotional game in a decade. It's the only advantage is that Marcel Reed and him are the same age, right? Like, Marcel's definitely had more reps, but, man, that takes away the quarterback advantage as far as I think Arch has, of course, better arms, but Marcel has been able to play more. So, not ideal, but that's from this morning. If anything comes out while we're on the live stream, y'all will actually know because we're having a chat here.
I think you did a really good job too, Homer. I'm pretty sure it was you. You used the analogy of like Sark almost holding a controller, right? Because that's a lot of what his offense is. His quarterbacks are essentially the analog stick, right? The left and
joystick.
right analog sticks, the joysticks. Okay, so. For fans who are wondering, like, okay, Arch is the more mobile player. He's the better deep ball thrower, the more confident deep ball thrower, whatever. Why isn't he playing? Well, for one thing, Quinn, like they've invested so much into Quinn, and he also deserves the credit for always putting the ball on the upfield shoulder of his potential pass catcher, whether that be in the swing or the screen game. But let's just skip all the other jargon for a second and just speak specifically to the quarterback to coach relationship, right? Sark. The way Homer said it, I think was perfect. The joystick, right? It's not 100% in sync with the quarterback in terms of Arch Manning. He is 100% in sync, has full control and full autonomy. There's a symbiotic marriage there happening with he and Quinn Ewers. It's offensive mastery in a sense, as far as unlocking the entire playbook. And so that's why. And then and on top of that, right, regardless of whatever lack of percentage there may be from Arch in this case. The last thing that you want to do is take a guy who's not cold, right? He's played, he's gotten reps this year. He's looked perfect, more than serviceable in those reps, filling in for Quinn and garbage time whenever we have a substantial enough lead to allow for that. But just taking a guy who is more or less cold, right, and placing him into this environment is just not something that you can confidently do right now, regardless of your situation. So I think if there is a question mark about Quinn, or his health and availability, which there clearly is, you have to see that through first, and then you pivot, accordingly.
Yeah, man. Also, man, I think fans need to realize is that the best opportunity for Texas to win this game is to have a healthy a healthy Quinn Ewers, not Arch Manning.
Absolutely.
Right? Because Quinn has been in the system now for 3 years, right? So he is Sark's guy. He went out there, he recruited him heavy to come here. He is his guy. He has 3 years in the system. He knows the entire playbook. For Texas to win this game and to have a comfortable win, they need to have a healthy Quinn Ewers play. That is the best shot to win. Now, if Quinn is not completely healthy and things do kind of go off the rails, and yes, we probably have one of the best backups in college football in Arch Manning. But like Homer said, this isn't the opportunity that you want him to go in. It's in Cal Field, the first time that we played there in 13 years, and expect, Arch Manning to come in and save this team. Now, if Arch does it, he's a true legend. Build a statue for him the next day, right? But that's just something that is going to be very, very
an insane ask.
Yeah, very insane ask, man.
Yeah. Now, look, I'm gonna agree with that to a point, right? Because Arch can use his legs.
Yeah.
And the defense has gotten hurt by everybody who can run, quarterback who can run, right? When everything breaks down, they take off. If things don't look, we stall out with Quinn. He doesn't look as on point. He's not healthy. He's not trusting the ankle. Then go ahead and make the change, right? Because I feel like Arch can make up a lot of ways with his legs that Quinn can't, and get those third down conversions that, hey, we're gonna need, right? And so, especially if we don't have a running game, right? Quinn needs a running game. Every quarterback needs a running game. Nobody can be Tom Brady and throw the ball 50 times a game without a running game and be successful. So Quinn needs a running game. They both need their entire team to kind of lift them up, honestly. Yeah. So either if Quinn's not healthy or Arch being a young guy coming in, he needs all the rest of the 10 guys on the offense to kind of help lift them up.
There you go, Coach. There you go.
I don't want the quarterback doesn't need to win this game. Everybody else needs to pick quarterback up.
Yes.
There you go.
So it's like I don't want the Arch Manning saving anything. If he does, great. We'll talk about it all post game.
Right.
But it's like I want to see this super talented team rise to the occasion and help their quarterback, more than saying like the quarterback has to do this year. Before we keep going real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you can get your thought land. I'm about to do an ad, so I don't want to break.
Okay. Last thing, just because he said what needed to be said, right? And I just wanted to reemphasize that. Okay. The best way to help out any sort of question mark there may be at the quarterback position is what? Go set the tone up front. Go push people around the way that you finished that game against Kentucky. 15 runs, 15 play drive, 15 runs, 83 yards, 8.5 minutes, right? Yeah. Go set the tone up front, push people around, and then get amazing things happen to your quarterback's confidence off of that, right? So that's the thing. And then, one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the country. We know that, Travels, because the crowd, right? Why do people say defense travels? Okay, the answer is because
they don't make noise on defense for when they're on offense.
Exactly. So that's it. Good stuff, Coach.
All right, before we keep going, let's hear a word from Luxe.
This video is brought to you by Luxe Kitchen and Bath. Luxe has been offering high-end kitchen and bathroom remodels for 3 generations throughout the greater Austin area. With 5-star review after 5-star review on Google and Facebook, and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, you can put your faith in Luxe Kitchen and Bath's award-winning designers and skilled craftspeople to bring to life that dream vision of your special home. But that's not all. Luxe's all-star team provides full remodels, large additions, and even commercial build-outs as well. So call Luxe Kitchen and Bath at 833-358-LUXE today. Or visit luxekitchenbath.com to discover where quality meets luxury and begin the process of transforming your home. Get a free quote today by calling 833-358-LUXE. That's LUXE. Or by visiting luxekitchenbath.com. Link in the description.
And this is also a very strong point. And running backs hold on to the damn ball. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, it was funny seeing Jaden Blue at the press conference with the ball, right? You know what I'm saying? Almost like the program. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. My issue was, though? He still had it low at the press conference. Like, yo, hold it up here, buddy. You still got it down.
Yeah, coach in the chat was still like, he's still holding it low.
Listen to me, man. I'm sorry.
Dude, the whole point of holding that's more of a psychological tool, to like try to get them to do it. But dude, we fumbled so much, and choice is teaching proper technique.
Yes.
So at some point, it's like, what do you do as a coach? You're like, dude, just hold on to it. I've told you everything that you need to know. That'll be the tricky part. But I think if we can get the run game going, man, that matters. Mm-hmm. Just how many licks can a 183-pound Reed take? So that's the tricky part. So Ian made a good point, right? They have good exterior run game, power run game. They'll do sweeps and stuff. If we're able to bottle that, because we are really athletic laterally and we kind of shut things down on the perimeter, now you're forcing Marcel Reed to run up the middle, which he does sometimes with success. But if you can get him to do it several times to where you're hitting, you're getting 10 good licks on Reed in the interior run game, we don't know how he responds, but we want to see how he responds. I think he's a tough kid. We'll find out. But, I mean, physics is physics, right?
Exactly.
Man, that article Baxter wrote was awesome. Shows the culture Sark has built in developing young men. Yeah, it was a great piece. What'd y'all think?
Yeah, man, I loved it, man. It's a culture building piece, right? And so it also kind of shows exactly why, like maybe some players aren't on the team now, and it shows why some of those guys probably stayed on the team. Sark's building a monster down here, man. He's bringing the talent, he has the 5-star talent and also the actual 5-star, the actual culture here too in place, man. So, Baxter has shown that even a guy like him, who's a 5-star kid, who's gotten injured and he's seeing his teammates do some great things as well, he's still backing them 100%. And he's going to be one of those guys that should be looked at next year, I would say as a huge captain as well.
Yeah. That's well said, Nino.
He's a smart kid.
Smart kid, man.
To be that far away from home. More people asking more about Quinn. Look, here's what I've heard this week about Quinn. I've heard both things. That Arch is playing and that Quinn is playing. There's some espionage going on here, all right? So it's like we literally won't know till the game happens. There's no benefit of Sark letting A&M know what's going to happen. There's benefit of Sark making it purposely confusing, making you hear multiple things. So we'll just find out. I mean, and we whatever it is, we can't change it, right? So we got to ride out anyways. And it is what it is. So do we know who's starting a cute quarterback yet? I do not.
We do not.
Yeah. I mean, I got to just kind of stand by my original take, but I said it because I believe it, right? It felt like a little bit of gamesmanship to me. Now, when you hear Eric talk about some of the first team reps that Arch was getting, how much of that a bunch of reps is Monday and Tuesday when that soreness is at its peak and they're just trying to be extra careful in Quinn as opposed to trying to go out there and push the agenda is in the rehab at the rehab facility, getting extra work in with the training staff, So sure. I mean, it could be, I could see it going either way, but in my head, man, like Homer said, it does behoove Texas and just the coaching staff, the entire program to make A&M prepare for two guys, right? Have just something extra to think about, much like LSU failed to prepare for the likelihood that Marcel Reed came into the game and completely changed the course of that game in the second half. So,
well, I mean, A&M plays a lot of man, dude, and I like Arch Manning versus man.
Yes,
that's because he can run. He can run, and he overthrows deep. So it's like we'll at least be getting one-on-ones. Arch's going to throw it. It's just, hey, Arch, can you connect? But these are two very different quarterbacks, right? So with Arch, you're going to get the ability to run, pick up some scrambles on third down. Maybe he can actually shrug off a defensive end occasionally,
right?
And you're going to get a chance at some bombs, right? The flip side of that is he's probably going to stall us out more because he's not progressing down, and he's young. And then Quinn, when Quinn's at max, you're getting a more conservative quarterback, but generally with stronger command of the entire offense. So I don't know what it takes to win this game. We're going to see, but Arch versus a team with a lot of man is not a bad thing schematically for me when I think about that.
Right. And just to add to that, people don't understand how many practice periods are in a practice. So just because Arch got first team reps, he might got first team reps in blitz pickup, right? Because they don't want to put Quinn in that situation where he's in practice working blitz, but he might have 7-on-7, 9-on-9 fastball where they're just kind of going down the field, no defense. Quinn probably got all those reps of first team because nobody's rushing him, right? And then he's getting rhythm with his guys going through the playbook and the script. Where Arch probably got put in during certain situations where they didn't want Quinn in because he would have had to move around more, right? So I wouldn't buy too much into it, honestly, about who got reps and what, because they both got it.
Same here.
Y'all see that multifaceted, just the wide array of analysis that we just brought to the table there. Me talking about the sports psychology. We got Nino and Homer with the more of the analytical minds, and we got Coach with the coaching background. Like, look, this is what happens. This is what is going on a week-to-week basis. Like, we're looking too much into this stuff, So good, just good. That's why you subbed to Inside Texas, man. Good stuff, fellas.
Yeah, go over to the website as well. You can get it in written form
on both accounts. Absolutely.
This game will come down who wins in the trenches, period.
I agree. So this is the funny thing about this, man, is, Texas's last 3 games, they closed out those games with a 15-play drive the last game. I think a 14-play drive, prior to that. And I think the game before that, 15 plays as well. and is, mostly rushing the ball. If Texas sets that tone, man, just owns the trenches, have DJ Campbell moving forward, because when he's moving forward, he's a force. You know what I'm saying? Having a guy like, Hayden Connor, who's just awesome too as well. So Kelvin Banks Jr. too as well. If they get those guys moving forward, man, I think Trey Wise is going to have a hell of a game. I mean, a hell of a game. And now, also, I noticed last game, Texas used, freaking 21 personnel, about 15 plays. So that's about 20% of the game, right? So 2 running backs, folks. And maybe Texas uses that just a bit more, but they were very, very, very successful in the action package, right? Who's that?
Yeah.
Coach. I love Olipop, by the way. I love you, Lando. That's a
I don't know
funny
why they're
comment,
talking
Coach.
to each other in the chat while they're literally could talk to each other right here.
I'm just I love it.
I'm
You
like,
guys
what
are
is
right
Coach
in front
talking
of each other. How exactly did the offense prepare for the loud noise at Kyle? Does anyone know? Did anybody hear loudspeakers? No, man.
No, but I can promise you at practice, they had loudspeakers during warm-ups, doing everything right behind the offense the entire time, just blasting, people making noises. They probably even got, Sark's not going to do that, but I'm going to say sometimes you might get fans or students who can just come out there and yell, but Sark, he ain't going to let nobody come to practice like that. But some programs will. Yeah. So let me take that back, but I'm sure they had loudspeakers right behind the offense while they're trying to operate, man. And so it's something, they'll be ready for it. Silent count, baby, silent count.
I agree.
What was one of the coaches, I don't know, a couple of years ago, they put headphones in to their players, and so you literally cannot hear. And so they practice with headphones, like not big ones because they have helmets on, but like earbuds.
Yeah.
And that way you can't hear it all, and everything's kind of silent count. I am interested to see our silent count and all that kind of stuff because it is going to be deafening, man. And but the flip side, right? An RT made this point over on Inside Texas. Having all those fans there can have an inverse effect. Remember how we wanted to show Georgia? We had 110 or whatever, 105, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
You get down, you get punched in the mouth like that. That's a lot of very nervous energy, man.
So that was my entire preview prior to the Arkansas game 2 weeks ago. That was my entire premise. It was norepinephrine doesn't care what if the environment that you're in is hostile or friendly.
No.
That natural chemical response that happens in your brain does not care if the fans like you or hate you, right? That pressure, you if you're unprepared, the moment, like you said, can have an inverse effect. I have lived that life. I've been the victim of sports psychology to working against me. It can be because
you want to make everyone proud, yeah.
Right. It's a performance enhancer, but it can cripple you if you're not prepared.
Yeah.
So no question about that.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like
this is a fan base, guys, that they're in general are emotional beings, but then like this Aggie fan base, right? They were waving the white flag with Connor Wegman in week 1 against Notre Dame, were they not?
Yeah, that's true.
So one interception, right, from Marcel Reed and
that's true. This A&M fan base switches so
turn on
quick.
you like at the turn of a dime. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, great point, well taken.
How many brawls tonight? All the other rivalry games today, there have been fights, and the staffs have already been chippy pregame. I hope that, man, just don't do it at a critical juncture. It's like post game, you can get weird, man. Because the reality is, like, they're fighting on the field. It's like, first off, man, these guys are all 220 pounds, muscled up. They're wearing literal pads on the top and bottom, and they're wearing helmets. Like, let them punch at each other all day. No one's getting hurt. I just don't want to see it when it matters, And
Yep.
A&M's one of the worst in the country on penalties. So hopefully A&M does something silly like that. I don't want to see it on our side just because I don't want to get 15 yards when it matters.
If there was a prop bet out there, my guess would be Shamar Turner's probably going to get it like 1 or 2 for A&M.
At least 2.
He can't stay away, man.
Country personal fouls.
He might. It's bad.
I'm pretty sure he does. I don't know if I could be making that up, but I heard that this week.
Yeah, and if he's dirty, man, hey, hopefully the reputation is good.
Trust me, bro. Sorry.
Quentin, we got to get you on here for your analysis like that. The game will come down to who scores more points.
That's right there.
My boy, $2 Quentin, man.
Oh yeah, brother. No, he's right. He's right.
He's not wrong.
He cuts through all the noise, man.
Mhm.
True. That's what it's about. It's yeah. One thing that's bothering me, I think Landon made a tweet earlier today about this that I agreed with. I almost made one last night. If I hear national media, like we're quote unquote people that fans are supposed to listen to that are quote unquote no football, and their analysis, their primary analysis is field noise on how A&M wins. Like the concept of Sooner Magic was going to beat us versus OU. You better start talking on the field. You know, if you say, hey, Quinn's not good in the pocket, we have a pass rush that moves people, that's a good argument. Hey, man, Quinn might not even start. Hey, that's a good argument. But if I hear one more talking head, like ESPN Game Day, it's like these guys played football. And they're like, hey, it's like, did you guys watch any tape? Are you guys like phoning it in during the week? Because that's crazy, man. Your lead analysis is because it's a loud stadium.
Yeah.
Elko said it today. The head coach, that was his first response when the game day crew asked him why they've had so much success early in year one. He pointed at the stadium and he said, this right here, the 12th man. And everybody went crazy. Like, I guess, I mean, you got to kind of cater to it, right?
I get playing to the crowd. I get playing to the crowd. Like even McAfee, like whenever he did his pick, he was spitting WWE. But it's like, man, I'm talking about like if I go on Sports Center and I hear quote unquote analysts and their analysis didn't once talk about any matchups on the field, it's just crazy to me, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a Sooner Magic thing, dude. That's whenever we're like, how are you going to beat us? And they're like, on paper, we can't beat you. So we're going to have to rely on this like analogous magic in the ether kind of thing.
Sure helped them against Notre Dame, didn't it?
That's what I'm saying. They don't even win. They don't even win an autumn out at home. Like that's the thing. Is like, how do you even quantify this quote unquote home field advantage that doesn't always pop up? All right, before we keep going, y'all, let's hear a word from Laura Baker.
Hi, I want to tell you about Laura Baker. If you're looking for a new home in the 512 or even at this point, let's face it, 737 area code, there's only one number to call. That's Laura Baker at 512-784-0505. As a member of the elite Andy Allen team with Keller Williams, Laura has helped Longhorns find the home of their dreams in Central Texas. Just ask our resident sex symbol, Ian Boyd, who moved all the way from Michigan to Texas with Laura's help. Laura can help you find what you're looking for in the 512, the 737, or even parts of the 254 and the 210. Just, give her a call at 512-784-0505. Her email is in the description as well as the rest of her contact details. She's a friend. Give her a call.
LC. How healthy is Bond? I think we reported on IT that Isaiah Bond's doing a lot better.
Right.
And should be back in the mix. I can't give you the nonsense. He's 93.8% ready, but I think he's doing better.
So you talk about like last week, Elko was sort of the talk of the town. He was mocked for being at the podium talking about Auburn, and then he name drops Texas after saying that we're completely focused on Auburn, and then he mentions Texas, right? But Texas, there's literal in my head. There's tangible evidence of Texas looking ahead to A&M as well, right? Matthew Golden comes out. He's the quote-unquote go guy, the focal point of the offense and the passing game last week to sort of let Isaiah Bond, he's going to be out there, right? You got to honor him, respect his speed, but the offense isn't going to sort of flow through him the way that it otherwise would if he's 100% healthy. So I do, like Homer mentioned, expect him to be a much better, healthier version of himself than he did when he walked out onto the field last week. So you're going to see him make some plays tonight. That's my thoughts.
Definitely.
I agree.
Dude, and A&M gives up that yak, dude. Like, we're not great at, like, hitting fades. That's not really our game plan. But, like, if Quinn can get him something quick and Bond can slip a tackle, man, you can go for 80, And so it's like that's the important thing, too, is, like, I need Bond's speed. And I don't care if it's downfield or you got to get yak. But we need some real speed. This game would really be helpful.
Oh, dang. Down goes Miami. Okay.
Miami lost.
Oh, they lost?
God.
Oh.
Hey, man. Hey, guys,
boy.
Alabama's going to find a way to sneak this happening, y'all.
Actually, my thing says it's Q4.
Yeah, mine says Q4 too, but
They must have got a first down or something and run it because it's 2 minutes early.
Man.
Yeah, they probably got a first down.
I'm still showing 2 minutes. I could be way off.
Hopefully they're using up all the upsets, so there won't be any potential upsets left. Quentin, in theory, he was doing it's a theoretical loss. All right, cool.
Oh, dang, Quentin.
They do have more points now.
We cut to the chase earlier with his take about teams that the team that scores the most will win, and then now we got all the noise back. Come on, Q.
Yeah. Quentin, we need you. We need your rational takes here.
Yeah, let's go, man.
Yeah, hopefully, man. I don't like all these upsets, but the more upsets that happen, the less likely they happen to us. So that's what I like. So here's what I was thinking about. And this is kind of basic analysis, but something we just really haven't had a lot in the past, 15 years. I'm just excited to see playmakers make plays tonight.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be where it's like Jade is going to do something cool. Anthony Hill's going to do something cool. I have no nerves with the defense, dude. Like I think they're going to show up, man. I think Taft's going to do something cool, man. Like it's like that's what I'm excited about. I'm getting to the point now where like I'm excited to watch the Longhorns, not quietly nervous like I was. We did good last year, but man, you just didn't know last year how it was going to end up on some of those close games. That's the exciting part, to be able to watch a good team. We've only had one loss, man, going into the final game of the season, man. Like we've been really lucky.
It's been a fun year, no doubt about it.
Like
so everybody's focused on talking about Quinn Ewers, the Texas quarterback situation, and I get it, but at the end of the day, man, this is a lot. There's a lot at stake for Texas A&M too, right? And their quarterback situation, we're still talking about a redshirt freshman. I get it. He's a Hellcat. He's a dynamic dude. He can make plays, but he thrives in space, right? These Texas edges don't let you get outside of them. They do not.
Right.
Yeah.
So can he beat us from the pocket? Maybe, but we haven't seen him do that this year.
Yeah.
So, magic happens, right? Maybe the crowd and maybe he's prepared. They've got something up their sleeve for us, but I just don't. And there's not a world to me where this player is sitting back there and picking apart this Texas secondary. It's just not going to happen. And if he does, if he's asked to stand back there in the pocket and deliver over and over again, and they can't overcome the Texas front seven with their design quarterback runs, the zone read game, and things like that. And they do have to sort of revert to, okay, we can't run the ball. We got to sit back and throw it. Then you got guys like Colin Simmons and Trey Moore getting active. If you're holding the ball longer than 2.8 to 3.2 seconds, like they're going to be in your face.
Right.
How does the redshirt freshman handle that pressure? Right. Since Lavian Moss went down, he's been tasked with shouldering a ton of the workload. Right. And I don't care where you're playing for a redshirt freshman against this caliber of an opponent like Texas is. It's a lot to ask. So I think we should be spending as much time, and not we as in like them, not necessarily we as in us, we as in everybody, talking about the quarterback situation for A&M as well, right? There's still a lot of there are a lot of question marks on both sides of the football. I expect a slugfest, man. And by slugfest, I mean like phone booth football, a knockdown, drag out, like a first team to 17 could even win this game. 17 points could win this football game.
Yeah, it could. It could be low scoring. What's driven me nuts? How you're saying, hey, we need to think of the inverse of Marcel Reed. It's the same thing when I've been hearing about A&M's defensive line all week. Like, guys, they have one player with 4 sacks or more. We have 3.
Mm-hmm.
They can stop the run well. Yeah, okay, we're 7th in the nation at stopping the run.
Right.
They're 40-something in sacks. We're 20-something. Like, in every measure, the Texas defensive line is better than the A&M defensive line. The only difference is right now is NFL mocks. So they have 2 names, right, that are getting first-round mocks, which is great. That's great for the NFL, but that's trait space, man. Yeah. Just because you have first-rounders doesn't mean that they're affecting games at this crazy amount. It means the NFL likes they're projectable.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing, too, is like the weird week is like all the strength I've heard from A&M, Texas, if you invert it, is stronger. Mm-hmm. On that side. And so it's just interesting to kind of see how people are analyzing this. But I do think that even though our defensive line is better, I think their defensive line would be more impactful, right? Because Marcel Reed can move easier than Quinn. Right?
I would say this, though. He's the first quarterback that doesn't look to scramble outside. He likes to go up the middle through the pocket, right? If defensive ends bend their ears and get around the edge, he's going to step up and take off through the crease. Or most young quarterbacks, they just think they can run outside and get away, but he actually steps up and goes forward. That's the one thing about rushing, but you might run right into Anthony Hill doing that. So
that's my point. Yeah.
you got to worry about that too.
So can we take it a step further then? I kind of want to talk a little bit about just overall game philosophy for from Coach Sark. So I was kind of going back and forth with this, and I'll just leave this to the panel and anybody in the chat, right? Let's just assume for a second to eliminate all the question marks, right? Let's assume Quinn's a full go, and Sark understands that Quinn's ready. Okay. Would you let's talk about the environment, because that's what everybody wants to talk about. If you're Sark, knowing what your defense is your approach, is your overall philosophy to, don't take this out of context, but for lack of a better term, protect your defense with your play calling, right? Not necessarily giving the A&M pass rush a chance to put Texas in a 2nd and 18 situation on a deep play action boot or something along those lines, right? Do we see the same conservative play style, the finesse approach that we saw to open up the Georgia game with the east to west stuff? Just like ball out quick, let's get the quarterback in a rhythm. That's always a good idea, and for the most part. But understanding what we have with the punt game being a question mark for us as well, like maybe the inability to flip a field. You don't want to go out there first and 10 from the 20-yard line, take a sack on 2nd or 3rd down, and be punting from your own end zone. That's how things turn around quickly. Special teams can flip this game just as easily as any other quarterback question mark. So is that in the back of your mind if you're Sark, right? What are your guys' thoughts there?
Just kind of watching A&M. I think we can tack them over the middle. I think Sark will too with the quick passing game. The perimeter game, BJ Mays, the DB, the slot nickel over there, he's really, really good at blowing those quick screens up. He has a lot of interceptions on the perimeter. That's what he does. He likes to jump passes. Yeah. And so I think we can beat him over the middle because a lot of times they're so inconsistent the way they rush. I'm sure Sark has seen this on film. They usually leave one guy open right across the middle, man, as long as he sits down. It may be Gunnar Helm tonight a lot, but when they're bringing pressure, they all blitz to like one gap. Like they get on top of each other. It's so weird. Like you have this gap, you have this gap, you have this gap, but they're running through one gap. And so
they're unsound, yeah.
And you're asking one guy way over here to come over and cover the seam on the other side of the field, which is really, really hard to do. And sometimes they're very inconsistent, which leaves it open right away. So I think the quick passing game will be over the middle. You probably can hit it with a bunch of draws or delay runs too. I think that'll be open right past you. You hand it off and let them go. So, and versus what we're used to seeing with the quick screen bubble screens.
Right. So like in my head, listening to, like, I know Texas A&M's, their pass defense, like their secondary is one of the worst graded in the country as well as far as the explosive rate, but player by player, their second level is where they're technically at their weakest in coverage, right? Their linebacker position. So do you see a lot of two back and having some Texas routes or, some angle routes, like trying to exploit that over the middle of the field, like what you're talking about, Coach?
If you see Torian York line up on anybody, Torian York is line up on anybody, attack him.
Exactly.
I love the kid. I love kids from Temple, Texas, but man, if he's in coverage versus one-on-one versus anybody, that's where you're going with the ball every single time.
Yeah, York's a good kid, man. Like he's solid, but yeah, he's vulnerable there. Yeah, so linebackers are vulnerable. Honestly, the whole secondary is vulnerable. They're good down to down, but if you get a fast receiver or a mental lapse, as far as being protectionist, if our punting game wasn't so sketchy, I wouldn't agree. But like you said, this is also, you're playing a defensive head coach. They're all about field position.
Yep.
Offensive coaches, for whatever reason, don't think exactly along those lines. But DCs are all about field position.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be interesting too. I think it's about the run game, and I know A&M's run defense is pretty good. But man, if we can get the run game going, that's just going to open up everything, dude. Yeah. And if we can hit a couple of those shots, man, like that changes it too. I want Marcel Reed pushing, but I don't know, man. I'm of two minds. Like early, I don't want to be protectionist because a Sark script, man, if you can score 18 on them in the first 5 minutes, do it.
Yeah.
But hey, if we go out there, win the toss, and Sark takes the ball, we're going to know what's up with Quinn on drive one. Quinn almost shows us how the game's going to go, like in the first 3 drives.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's just kind of how it is. So Quinn's going to let us know early what to expect from Quinn. And that's going to be the biggest thing. Now, if we see that they're getting to Quinn and Quinn looks hurt and stuff like that, then you got to change your strategy, get Arch in. But to answer your question, Lando, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like there's so many competing variables here.
Too
That's
many,
tricky
man.
for me. Nick, what do you think?
You got to protect Quinn at all costs, man. You got to make this game very simple. Death by 1,000 cuts in this game. Short, like short passes. I think Helm's going to have a big game this game, hopefully. I love some Helm. He's just so reliable, man. But also, like you said, Coach, if we can get that nice deep shot in every now and then, take it, man. We got the players who can do it. A&M gives up big time plays too as well, man. So, but yeah, death by 1,000 cuts. Let Quinn be the guy to kind of check down a lot this game. Let's get 5 yards here, 7 yards here, 5 yards here. I'm fine with that. Let's just go up. Like if Texas wins by 1 point, I'm happy. I'm good with it.
Oh yeah, dude.
This is the first time we played in 13 years, man. Death by 1,000 cuts. Protect Quinn at all costs. Clean pocket for him. If Texas does that, I think Texas is very successful this game.
Yeah. Subplot for the other side of the ball too. I just had another kind of a talking point. It was my take at the end of the game, when the game concluded last week. Looking forward to this one. Another one of those looking ahead moments and protecting Isaiah Bond on the other side of the ball. Is this more of a David Binda profile game? Just knowing the style of play, like 59% of the time, A&M's running the football, right?
And he's fast too.
One thing we know about David Binda, hunt downhill and field.
And he can chase quarterbacks too.
He's a thumper with speed, man. A thumper with speed. You need that. You need it.
Yeah, Binda would be interesting too. I mean, just his blitz from Bama last year where he got cut, got up and got the quarterback.
Yep. I've used that clip a few different times. I love that play. That's fun.
Yeah. So I think our defense is going to ball out, man. I feel good there. But me and Nick were talking before, man. Like, you can ask me like how I feel about the game, and I feel like we're going to win by 15, and then 20 minutes later, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it's this one's in my head,
That's how much it means.
The magical environment, dude. The magical environment's gotten to me, dude.
This is the show me game for the offensive line, man. This is the show me game. This is the show me game to say, hey, look, this is going to be our toughest competition post Georgia, right? And so we got bullied against Georgia. All right. So now what do? You got two guys who are first round picks, right? Who are coming to take our head off. How do you match up Cam? How do you match up Banks? How do you match up DJ Hayden? How do you match up? Jake Majors has been really good this year too as well. How do you guys match up? Show everybody on national television at prime time why you guys be one of the best O-lines in the country. I love it, man. Show up.
You're about to have me running through this wall right here, messing up all this memorabilia, bro. You better come. I'm about to get ready to go, man.
I'm ready for it.
The pictures on Twitter of the stadium filling up, man. It's like, dude. Also, like, I got to give them credit on this, man. Like, their state. I told you I watched the 2011 game last night just to be nostalgic. Yeah. Man, the improvements they've made to this stadium is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't have any of this in 2011. So the way they built this stadium up since we last played them is really impressive too.
Yeah, that part.
So beyond no one really of playing in this game because it was so long ago, but also even if you did play in this game, it would feel – I mean, Gideon's the only one that's going to know the true difference here.
That's a hilarious profile picture.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
People are funny, man. People are funny.
I'm just scanning Twitter to make sure no breaking news hits while we're on here.
Oh man, I'm kind of doing the same thing. You guys can see me check.
I was looking for the same.
Yeah, with the quarterback funness that's going on.
Yeah. Oh, Quinn has both ankles taken. He has a brace on the right leg, on the right ankle. Okay, cool.
Sure, he does. He's definitely so. He's looking at the ankle flexion, I guess dorsiflexion, whenever you point your toe up towards your knee. I'm looking too much into this. This is just my overly analytical mind, so y'all just gonna have to bear with me. All right. And maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just looking at him walk around in pregame. It's clearly heavily taped, right? On the right side, the right ankle does not dorsiflex when he walks. It almost just like stays flat as he's picking his leg up. So it's just something to think about. And
it's on his right leg, you said, so it's on his plant foot.
Yeah.
That's gotta be tough, man. A 3-step drop onto a high ankle spring, dude, to get the torque to throw deep. Ugh, that's tricky, man. Like we said, with modern medicine, he's not gonna feel his leg for the next, like, in the morning, he's gonna feel like his leg has been broken, but tonight he's not gonna be able to feel his leg.
Yeah.
We don't need a great Quinn Ewers. We just need him to do the simple passes, and we got it. Yeah, it's all about executing, man.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I want the team. I want this to be a team win. I want running backs to be like, okay, I want Everybody else pick up quarterback this time. We don't need quarterback saviors this game. Quentin did not like me talking about renovation.
My boy Quentin, man.
Can't even compliment like a structure being built.
Oh man.
I don't even like when I talk positively about construction projects.
Oh man.
Fellas, I'm shaking right now.
I know, dude. This is 13 years in the making, man.
Adrenaline is through the roof.
Like, guys,
I can't even argue straight right now. I'm starting to feel that sports psychology getting me right now. So
yeah, I told you guys in the group chat, I was like a 7-year-old. I woke up this morning, I couldn't go back to sleep.
Yeah,
I was like, the first thing I thought of, I was like, dude, because it felt like this game is like all week. Feels like it's been forever, dude.
This is awesome. 13 years in the making, man. I remember being a student, and when we played, A&M, and we would go, back and forth, home and home. And dude, it was just like traveling down there to a game and or having them come up. It was just A&M is the game, right? A&M and OU, those are your two games. But having them back on the schedule, man, it just feels right. It just feels right.
Got the Bulldog.
Got the Bulldog. Hey man, hiding from Bevo.
Dude, I can't believe
his name is Benson. He's a stud, dude.
I can't believe we let the rich guys in both programs, whatever, took this game away for 13 years. That's crazy to me, dude.
Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude. Just for the fans, but also just economically, dude. And we haven't had a home rival, man. Like, we don't get to play OU at home, So it's like, man, it's cool to have man, we gave up so much for those 13 years just because, like, petty stuff, man. They gave up millions of dollars. Like, that's crazy, dude. Like, how much they hated each other. Like, we'll lose $20 million annually. That's how much I don't like you. It's weird. But yeah, man, the nervousness is starting to.
I'm ready. This is awesome.
I might need to go take a lap, just a lap out, like around the entire premise of the property that I'm on right now, and just kind of get the blood flowing, warm up a little bit, get this nervous energy out.
Dude. I think Texas does well, man. I think Texas does well this game. I look at this game like the Arkansas game. Where we kind of took the run away from Green. I think Texas does very well this game, man. It's just something about this. I got a good feeling about it. Sark looked very angry today. This is
he was mad on his interview.
This is the most mad I've seen Sark. I think Sark understands how big this game is. It's just something about this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just got a really good feeling about this defense. The defense showed up every game this year. I'm not worried about the defense. Yeah. I think Sark has a hell of a plan here, for the offensive side of the ball. I'm excited for it, man. And Trey Wise is our guy now. We know who our running back is. Against Georgia, we didn't know who our real guy was at the time, right? So, man, look, I'm ready. Yep. I'm ready, guys.
Yep. The reason why I'm as nervous as I am, right? I know the defense is going to show up. I know they're going to make it tough to move the football. I worry about forcing the issue if Quinn isn't in fact 100%. And he, like we saw under pressure last week after he he stayed in the football game, things got a little weird, right? Pressure. He almost he tried to check it down and he threw it away, but it ended up being a lateral. Had that ball stayed in bounds, that's a scoop and score the opposite direction. So letting that affect your decision making is the only reason why I'm as nervous as I am.
Oh, it's the only factor.
Before seeing those videos and how heavily taped up it is, like he looks like Tom Brady spat.
It does. It does, man.
Yeah. I got it. Send me a picture.
I got you. I'll send it to you right now.
That's it. Yeah, it's quarterback. That's the only question I have. I mean, if our quarterback play is there, then I feel good. If quarterback play isn't there, we need everybody.
True.
The Quinchester is loaded. It's over for Aggie.
I sent it to the group chat with all 11 of us, like with Nino and Steven.
Okay.
So y'all can sit in there.
Let me take a look at it.
Yeah, he spat it up because he's about to run for 300. That's
I am here for it.
If Quinn, dude, if I'm Quinn, I'm wearing the glove. I'm wearing the Vic glove, and I'm running for 300, dude. Who cares? They're not going to see that coming. I guarantee you, they didn't game plan for that.
The funniest thing, Steven's pregame show. I just love listening to Steve rap. Fanatic Perspective for those who are unaware, but his show, he talked about. He's like, man, I'm a man of faith. God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all that. But I don't want to see no Bible verses on anybody's eye black tomorrow. I want to see that Ryan Williams kill everybody. Energy.
Yeah.
Dude, Steve cut a promo. He was in his belt to ass series that he's been laying down all year.
Yeah.
He cut a hot promo, I guess, on y'all's Bleacher Report show, Nick, wherever he's
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah,
no more games, no more running. Like he just
it
went
was
full
hilarious,
WWE.
dude. I was cracking up when he's doing that. I was like, Steve's like a damn actor out here today in these streets, man. That was crazy, bro.
Dude, Steve, I can't wait to watch Fanatic if we win this game, man.
Oh, he's gonna
let him have it. Dude, he's gonna let him have it. It's gonna be so good, man.
It's gonna be like Thanksgiving dinner with 4 plates. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be crazy.
Quentin.
Montavious Young.
Quince Young.
Quentin L'Oreal is my cousin. Let me get in the chat. Yeah, you can come, dude. You just have to provide intel, man. You got to be a source for us, man.
Oh, it's funny, dude.
Score predictions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hate those. I hate these.
So do I, because no one ever comes back and congratulates you if you're right.
Exactly.
Ever, in the history of score predictions. But they will come back. They come back every time when you're wrong. But no, I've yet to ever have anyone be like, you know what, dude, you really nailed that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always Texas. I'll lead because these are so not fun. But Texas 24, A&M 10.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay, look. All right, I like that. I got next, man. Give me Texas 27-13.
Well, on Roundtable, I had already gave my score prediction. I had Texas 24, A&M 20. So
okay, that's good.
Okay. You can't cheat it. Yeah, fair.
I'll go 23-12. Texas A&M doesn't score a touchdown.
Ooh,
okay.
I
like it.
Okay, I like that.
I thought you were giving them touchdown, field goal, safety. I was like, oh no. Which could happen.
Hey, with the Tom Brady spat, if we get a bad field position started, it's possible. We could see that. We'll see.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We have to win special teams, especially given the quarterback situation. I agree 100%.
Yes.
Silas, no weird stuff, dude.
Less bold.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you better catch the ball. You better catch those too.
Hey, we gotta acknowledge Elijah Perez's too. Just out of principle. I respect that, man. Shout out to Jake.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
Oh yeah, man. Most definitely. I don't even want to bring the comment up that the dude put up there, but yeah, man. Shout out for Jake, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you see, Taft had a pocket square with 48 on it.
That's what's up.
So I think they saw whatever.
Oh,
I'm not giving it time of day, but whatever was flown around, I think they saw that.
It's personal now. It's personal.
Yeah, personal.
I think that might have personalized this for them.
Give me all the bulletin. Give me that bulletin board material right now. Touch my players pregame, as we just saw that apparently, allegedly, the A&M coaches did. Give it to me. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bolden returns the punt for a TD. See, Bolden is so scary and awesome that I could see that easily too. Like after making that OU play, man, it's like he's capable of doing awesome stuff.
True.
The funniest one though, dude, is the one time he was able to field it cleanly. He called a fair catch last week.
Right.
And I was just like, dude, what are you? I was like, the one time in this season you've been able to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's special teams, run the ball. Quarterback doesn't have to be the savior here. Team, let's get a team win in.
I'm with that.
Texas 49
game too, man. I think
the ultimate team sport, baby. That's it.
Let's do it, man.
Oh,
let's go watch the game. Yeah, let's go.
I got nerves over here.
Hey, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's do it. Fans, thanks for hanging out. Y'all, thanks for hanging out. And of course, no matter what, win or lose, we will be here live as soon as the clock strikes 0. So come hang out for the post game. Enjoy it. Nick, thank you. Landon, thank you. Coach Dub, thank you. Fans, thank y'all as well. Let's get this win. Peace.